long hair, as you ready. And I'm going to give you, from a black woman's point of view, I'm going to give you my testimony about me as a little girl. I remember growing up, and back in the day, I didn't have long hair. I didn't have hair at all, hardly. And I remember I had a lot of cousins because of my grandmother. My grandfather was white, and so some of my relatives, their hair was much longer than mine, all my first cousins. But even with their hair being long, it wasn't really long considering we thought long hair was to our shoulders, or maybe to the bra strap. Well, we thought that was long. Man, if a black person had hair that long, boy, it was long, okay? Yep. And I said, man, God, I can just get hair that long. Even as a little girl, I didn't know anything about the Bible, about not cutting your hair. It was just something that I just loved about long hair, you know, and I always wanted as a kid, but I didn't have it. I remember going to California, spending a lot of money on trying to buy all these hair products. And I remember, I don't know if y'all know anything about grease, but they say you put this on your scalp, it'll make your hair grow. So I was trying that, trying this and that, and you know, I never got my hair to grow. And I said, man, I was trying everything. And so all of a sudden I got the Holy Ghost, and God really began to deal with me about my hair. I wanted it even more. I wanted to have long hair. I remember I was going up in the prayer line, and I would pray. I said, God, I want long hair, and I tried everything, you know, but you know, I was putting that straightening comb in my hair, you know, trying to keep it straight, you know, but I wanted that long hair, you know. And so I remember, everything got it going yet. I'm gonna show y'all some pictures, but I'll show it later. But I remember I got married and everything, and I wanted hair, and my hair would not grow. And this is, I can show you pictures from a lot of black women back in the 50s and the 30s. They just didn't have long hair. And we was always told we would never have long hair, you know. And so I got married and had kids, and finally my hair grew a little bit. But it didn't grow very much, you know. So I was praying, I kept on praying, you know. I said, God, I want long hair. I want long hair, you know. So eventually my hair broke off. I was still pressing it with pressing combs, and so I remember it had broke off pretty bad, and so I said, God, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna stick it back in a ponytail, put gel on it, I'm not gonna mess with it no more. I'm gonna see this gonna grow. And to my surprise, my hair started growing in the year around 1999, year 2000. My hair had gotten pretty long. Show me when I first got married, show you how short my hair was. Can you click on the picture? Oh, it won't show us. Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But anyway, my hair had begun to grow, and I remember in the year 2000, my hair had gotten really kind of long. It got to my broad strap. I said, oh, wow, boy, my hair has gotten long. And so I was so excited because I wasn't putting no heat in my hair. I was just putting it back in a ponytail, and I put gel on it so I wouldn't fool with my hair, you know. And so it grew, and I was so excited. I said, oh, man, God, I got it. And you know what? I got to thinking, I listened to people and society, you know, about our hair, you know, and I said, you know what? I'm going to put a perm on my hair. So I put a relaxer on my hair in the year 2000. And after I put the relaxer on my hair, the next year my hair began to break again. And over the year of time, my hair started breaking, and it broke off way up to here, and I had grew it down there. And I was devastated, you know. And I said, God, you know, I want to be pleasing to you. I want to have long hair. The Bible talks about wanting to have long hair. I can't understand how y'all get frustrated with long hair, you know, really. But because I knew it was pleasing to God, and I want to be pleasing to God. I want to please Him, and I know it was beautiful to God, you know. And so I remember, I said, my sister looked at me and said, Melvin, I'm not gonna put no more perms on your hair. It's breaking your hair. We tried everything. I mean, I went from 2001 to all the way up to 2006. My hair kept on breaking and breaking till it broke off, and we decided no more perms. Okay, I said no more perms. All right. And so I didn't put any more perms in my hair. I said, well, I'm going to have to go natural. And I said, man, you know, society, what do you think about kinky hair, you know? Man, what am I going to do about this, God? Because society don't accept us the way we are. And I said, God, what am I going to do? And I was battling in my mind. I said, God, what am I going to do? I want long hair, and I want to please you. But to get long hair, I would never have long hair, putting all the heat in my hair, putting perms in my hair, you know. I was battling back and forth. And I prayed about it. And like the Lord spoke to me, you know. He said, I'm God. And I said, yes, sir. He said, have I ever made a mistake? I said, no, God, you never made a mistake. He said, when I made you with kinky hair, right? I said, yes, sir. He said, did I make a mistake? I said, no, sir. He said, where were you when I formed this earth? I said, I was nowhere, God. He said, don't you know that I know what I'm doing? And right. I made you beautiful just the way you are. No matter how dark your skin are, no matter how kinky your hair is, no matter how curly your hair is, no matter how straight your hair is, God made each and every one beautiful just the way they are.
Right.
I said, yes, God.
That's right.
I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go natural. So I went natural, and the natural state of women's hair, you know, our hair is really kinky. Without heat, I have seen black women hair can be up to here when it's washed in the natural state. But if we press our hair, it can be way down here. And people would never know because of the shrinkage, you know. And sometimes in society do not accept kinky hair. Society thinks that it's not personal, not professional, and that this and that. But from a black woman point of view, you know, all of us want long hair.
Yeah.
Have you noticed back in the 80s, the women, I can go back in history talking about hair. Back in the 30s, you know, women, really back in the early 1800s, when slaves came over, black women came over, you know, we all had short hair. And because of racism and all that type of stuff and being accepted, we felt like we had to press our hair to be accepted. So Madam Walker, she invented the straightening comb, where it straightens our hair out, but it used a lot of heat to get the hair straight. And over those years of time, the black women would press their hair, and our hair never grew. It grew just only so far, you know. And so, around the 1970s, the 50s, real long in their 60s, well, the perms started coming out. And how really the perms got started, a little history here. Back in the day when slave women or men, when they was being treated, when they was going to go, you know, I can't think of the word, but when they go try to correct them, punish them, they would dip their head in lye, and it would burn their head. And the women and the men, they noticed that when the hair came out of the lye, the hair was made straight. And so that's how perms got started for black people, where they push their hair out and make it straight.
Wow.
And so back in the 30s, I can't remember, in the 40s, somewhere along there, perms started coming out and black people started permanent hair in about the 60s and the 70s. And still and yet, we did not have long hair. We still had short hair. The perm was breaking our hair off. I can go in detail about perms and perms. It has a pH, I don't want to go into all that, but perms has a pH around 13. And hair remover has a pH around 14.
Wow.
So can you imagine you put perm on your hair, any type of chemical, if you leave it on there any long length of time, it will remove all your hair off. You become completely bald. That's how powerful those chemicals are. It will put burns on your scalp. There are women that have contacted alopecia from having perms, the balding of the scalp. I was reading articles on doctors, they are talking about how a lot of black women coming to them with alopecia because of perms. The chemicals get into their scalp and it burns the scalp, and also they have hair loss and they cannot regain their hair hardly, all because they're trying to make it straight. And how about just being where God made us?
Amen.
And I remember, and so I was on this journey. Those are chemicals. That's part of the reason why God don't want you to dye your hair. Dye is damaging. They use chemicals that change the pH of your hair. Your hair's pH is around 4.5, 5.5. Anything above that, it starts damaging your hair. So that's the reason why dye is damaging. You know, you got heat is very damaging. Those straightening combs, you got those fat irons, they get over maybe 300 degrees in Fahrenheit, 400. Can you imagine putting that heat on your hair all the time, once a week, and just steady putting that heat? It's going to damage your hair. You know, if God don't want us to cut our hair,